Omera Radio Entertainment.
Hello, my name is Mike, and today's show is brought to you by our Amazon page. Please remember to shop at MikeOmeraShow.com/Amazon. It's quite simply the best way to support this show. If you need it, Amazon has it, and you can get it at MikeOmeraShow.com/Amazon. Bookmark it, please.
Available on demand every day in iTunes and the Google Play Store, and around the world on MikeOmeraShow.com. What more can we do for you? It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Oh, all eyes are on Sochi, Oscar.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Well, with all the Olympic stuff, but one of the things that people were not expecting is the growing feeling of homophobia.
Still?
Yes, still. As a matter of fact, as the Olympic flame was being carried through the village of Voronezh, there was a huge rainbow flag unfurled, and this guy was detained. So who can we talk to get the inside scoop?
Who's that?
Did somebody call my name?
The Olympic flame.
Yes, sirree, I'm here. Shut that Russian music off. I swear to God, baby.
How are you doing?
It's so nice. Hello, Rob.
Hello, Flame.
How are you?
I'm well. Say hi to Oscar. I know you're very fond.
Hello, Oscar.
Good morning, Flame.
How are my two favorite boys?
We're good.
So good.
As long as we're not DJs.
Yes. Deejay. I understand that dig, you Bolivian bastard, you. How are you, boys?
You sound amazing. Well. You sound amazing. You're over there in Russia. Do you feel the love where you are there, or do you feel something else?
No. I do not feel the love. I do not feel the love at all. You know what I feel?
What's that?
I feel iciness. Iciness.
You do? What do you feel?
There's iciness everywhere I go. These people are living in the 18th century, honey. They're living in the dark ages. They do not like people like me. And I've been so embraced wherever I've gone around the world.
Flame, I heard
Yes.
that they've had to manufacture snow. Is that true?
Oh, it's terrible. It's all fake. It's all ruse. They're just big lying Russians is what they are, honey.
You know what I love, Flame? I like
Yes.
when you get serious and you get that sort of introspective sound in your voice.
Well, I have to be secretive because over here in Sochi,
Sochi. Yes.
That's right, Sochi. Well, you say Sochi, I say Sochi. It's scary. They do not like the Olympic flame over here in Sochi, honey.
Now, that's wild because we've seen you being carried literally around the world, and everywhere you've been embraced.
I remember the great cities I've been through. Paris, New York, Boston, fabulous places where I'm embraced as the Olympic flame, but not with the home crowd of Sochi. No.
Were you ever carried through Manassas?
No, I wasn't. No, I'm afraid if I was carried through Manassas, I might get shot.
Heard that news, did you?
Especially if I was at a Super Bowl party.
Yeah, they'll get you every time, won't they?
Every single time, honey. Yeah, it's so cold in Manassas and it's so warm in Sochi. Too warm, they're making fake snow. Dirty Russian fake snow, honey.
And it's icy.
Would you do me a favor back in Washington, D.C.?
You bet.
If you see that little old Lindsey Vaughn, will you tell her my sympathies, honey? I was pulling for her to fix that knee.
Yeah, you wanted her to win, right?
I sure did. I love little old Lindsey Vaughn and Tiger. Ow! The interracial love is the hottest love in the world, honey.
Do you have any sort of love in your life?
Do I have love in my life?
Yes.
I love peoples. I love peoples from all walks of life.
But you don't have a significant other?
Well, I do.
Like a
Do, as
lantern
matter
or
of-
something?
Well, I just occasionally when I'm in your town, I like to visit my good buddy, the Eternal Flame, over at Arlington National Cemetery.
I heard you were just friends.
Just friends. It's strictly platonic. We like to talk about fine literature, honey.
Do you love the color yellow?
I love the color yellow. I love the color blue. I love greens, oranges, the orange of a sunset, the blue of a freshly picked blueberry.
Now, what do you like? Do you like when people are carrying you? Do you like when they decorate you, or do you think that's just sort of useless?
Would you like to know what the Olympic flame likes more than anything else?
I would.
The lovely, strong, warm grip of a human hand. That's what I like, honey. The Olympic flame loves the grip of a human hand. There's nothing like that tight squeeze when a newbie carries the flame for the first time.
Doesn't it get sweaty, though?
Oh, yes, there's certain people that I don't know what they're eating for their breakfasts, but I'll tell you.
Eating for their what?
Their breakfasts.
Sure.
but they get sweaty palms.
Yeah.
And that makes the Olympic flame very sad. I like a good dry hand.
Now you are really not an exclusive person at all. You welcome everybody, right?
Every color, every creed, every religion, every man, woman, every sex, every lifestyle, if you know what I mean, honey.
Yeah, sure I do. What of your problem is when sometimes you go out? Do you hate when you go out?
Did you go out last night? Did Rob Spiewak go out, or is it just Monday Rob?
It's just Monday Rob trying to deal with Florida Mike.
There we go. Yes, but Florida Mike's not fucking up the beginning of the show. Why don't we just start the show?
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at www.mikeomarashow.com.
Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Let's get down to business.
From the entertainment capital of the world.
Excuse me.
Hey, it's Kunta Kinte!
What can I do with you, boy?
Can you make my hair look like this?
Oh, man, what you want to make your hair look like that for? Well, I like the way you wear your hair. Wear it natural. That's good, man. You know, I wish more of the young children today would wear their hair natural like Dr. Martin Luther King did. That's right. You ain't never seen Dr. Martin Luther King with no mess of jerry curl on his head. Ain't that right?
Amen.
Dr. King ain't come walk around like that. You know, sweet, I met Dr. Martin Luther King once.
And you lying. You ain't never met Dr. Martin Luther King.
Yeah, I met Dr. Martin Luther King in 1962 in Memphis, Tennessee. I'm walking down the street, minding my own business, just walking along, feeling good. I walk around the corner, man woke up, hit me in my chest, right? I fall on the ground, right? And I look up, it's Dr. Martin Luther King. I said, Dr. King. He said, oops, I thought you were somebody else.
Oh, man, you lying. You ain't never met Martin Luther King.
Knocked the wind out of me. Yes, he did.
No, it didn't.
Yes, he did.
No, he did not.
Hey, boy, why you so worried about how you look anyway?
Well, I am trying to gain the interest of a certain young lady.
I ain't never heard no woman giving no man no loving just because his hair look good.
That's right.
Is this American Girl?
Yes.
You got to go through a papa. See, that's a big misconception. People don't know that about American women. Ain't got nothing to do with your hair or your pocket. You get in good with American woman's father, you in good with her. Ain't that right?
He ain't lying.
That's right. You get in good with the father, you home free.
Mm-hmm. Home free.
Like a bird.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. Mike O'Mara, Rob Spiewak, Oscar Santana. And now, from his easy chair, here's Mike.
We are live from the Cappy Pfeiffer Studios. This is the Mike O'Mara Show. We are broadcasting all over the planet. We are powered by Encore Insurance Services with over 22 million downloads. We're at MikeO'MaraShow.com, and we are heard over the air on the mighty 1630 KCJJ in the heart of the heartland. Go Hawks. The Mike O'Mara Show is a daily radio show and podcast with the greatest listeners in the world. Why?
Why, Mike?
Because they get it. Today's show is brought to you by Sleep Number Beds. I am looking forward to sleeping another wonderful night in my Sleep Number bed because I think it is the only thing that you can do, at least the only thing I did, for back health. I have a Sleep Number bed. You should, too. Let me tell you why. It's a new year, and it's a great time to start sleeping in your brand-new Sleep Number bed. I love mine. So does Carla. My sleep number is a 75. Carla prefers a sleep number of 80. And really, the one reason, the main reason, the only reason that I got my Sleep Number bed, there are many of them, but mine was because of my horrible back. And I never thought that a system like this could actually turn my life around, and it has. The nice thing about Sleep Number, you go into the store, you say, hey, I've got a bad back too, can you help me? They will give you, the pros at the Sleep Number store in your area will give you a complete rundown of the perfect bed for you. Each side of our mattress is always adjusted to the ideal level of support that we need. It's perfect for couples. Remember, you'll only find Sleep Number beds at Sleep Number stores, where queen mattresses are starting at $699. Just $699. The Sleep Number bed is clinically proven to improve sleep quality, in my case because I'm able to not get up in the middle of the night with terrible back pain. So why wait? Right now it's Sleep Number. It's the final days of lowest prices of the season. Save up to $800 on their newest innovation beds, plus for 5 days only, special financing until January 2017 on select Sleep Number beds with approved credit. Offer ends Monday. See store for details. Find your Sleep Number setting today at any of the 400 425 Sleep Number stores nationwide. Find one near you by calling 800-511-0061. That number again is 800-511-0061. Don't forget to tell them Mike O'Mara sent you, and I hope you can enjoy it as much as I enjoy mine. So hail, hail, the gang is all here. Thanks for mentioning Florida right out of the gate, Rob. I really appreciate that. I spend the entire last week spinning this to make sure our listeners understand it's A-OK, and right out of the gate, because you're stumbling all over your words, you mentioned Florida. But thank you.
My
I want to
apologies.
thank you from the bottom of my heart.
My apologies.
Truly special. It makes me feel so damn happy today.
My
it really does.
My warmest apologies.
In his
I'm sorry.
defense, we're getting 3 to 5 to 6 to 7 inches of snow. We may be a little jealous. We may
Are
be
you
just a little
jealous?
bit jealous.
Yeah, we got to go.
Well-
I was stuck behind a pre-treatment road truck today, so it was a nice, slow, soggy, salty ride in. Everyone is starting to panic around here.
Let me look at the forecast that I'm looking at here. 3 to 7 inches of beautiful sunshine.
There we go.
Wow, yeah. So it must
No,
be nice.
I will admit that I might be a little crisp as well today due to the fact that it was a 5:15 awakening time to take my oldest daughter to the airport for a 6:45 flight. And really, you know, I talked about the whole reason for moving down here, and I have to say it again because it is. Look, I'm not embarrassed to talk about the realities of finances and the fact that you know, when in one time in your life you were blessed enough where you could actually live in 2 places part time, and sometimes you got to downsize, and that's exactly what I'm doing. But process was getting people to come and go down here and to actually come down and visit, and the fact is, the only time that I can get a flight that she can get on that's reasonably priced is at 6 o'clock in the morning. And it's very, very frustrating. The airlines, you know, especially when you're, you know, going to a place like this, when does everybody leave? Well, they leave Sunday at 4 o'clock.
Of course.
That's the time. That's when everybody decides they're going to go home. So it was crack of dawn. My daughter actually woke me up this morning. We took her to the airport, but she was with us all weekend long. And the idea of having my youngest and my oldest together in one place is very, very special to me. And everybody was battling me every single place we went over the weekend because they would see Michael in the stroller, and then they would see Catherine wheeling him along. And if Carla was like out of the equation, stepped into the ladies' room for a little bit, it would immediately be, oh, look at that unwed mother and her grandfather.
Oh no! Where are the MTV cameras? Because it looked like a reality show.
Yeah, and the only one that I got over the weekend, because I'm up front. Oscar's been down here, and Oscar knows that I share right away. I want no confusion. I want people to know that little guy, that I am his father.
Yeah.
That yes, I have the white beard, but I am his dad.
You're responsible for him.
Sure.
And we were driving around all over this place. We took an adventure this weekend like you would not believe. We went deep into the Florida Everglades and stopped at a restaurant on the side of the road next to a gas station. Actually, it was part of a gas station. And we stopped there where
Classy.
people might not. If it was, hey man, there weren't any options. There weren't many options that we had. And all I know is you should always follow your instincts when it comes to food.
Right.
And when we sat down in this roadside stand next to what appeared to be challenged young man who was holding the live alligator.
Oh, no. It wasn't as big as Gatorama, was it? Was it just sort of a little thing?
This was, I would estimate this was probably 2.5 feet.
He wasn't
maybe 3.
Was he preparing to serve it?
It was. He had it taped. You know how they tape the
with the
electric
duct tape,
around their mouth, and he was actually just sitting out there, I think maybe waiting for people to give him a buck and have their picture taken with it, but right next to this little shack.
Now, can
was
you
the
describe the
restaurant.
shack? I mean, I'm really seeing something from like the Beverly Hillbillies in my head. Is it,
It was-
untreated wood? What does it look like?
It looks like really kind of a Mediterranean-style building, house, if you will, but it's inside. It's got a regular restaurant and bar. The problem was, when we went inside the bar, my instinct, my daughter's instinct, and my wife's instinct immediately was to flee.
Yes.
Not because it was scary or the guy in there was scary. He was a little Duck Dynasty-ish, but he wasn't a scary guy. But it was immediately Carla and my daughter Catherine started alerting me as to the hygiene of the place.
What were some of the indicators that made you think you were in trouble?
The number one indicator, and this because Catherine works in the restaurant business, and I've worked in the restaurant business. The number one indicator, and you've seen this at a lot of dives, diners, and stuff like that. It's the mustard already in the in the little plastic with the nipple on it.
Yes.
And at the very top of the nipple is like 6 years of crusted mustard that hasn't been.
They did not clean the squirt applicator, Mike.
On the second request because both of the ketchup containers at the table were also empty.
Oh.
And on the second request for ketchup, he brought the fabulous house recipe ketchup over.
Oh, so it's not even a name brand.
And he didn't bring. Usually, sometimes you go into a restaurant and you request a fresh ketchup, you get a new one. You get one of those new that they get from the food purveyors. He brought this one over, and this one had about an eighth of an inch. I'm guessing you not. It had about an eighth of an inch of ketchup. And Carla delightedly, because Carla likes to gross me out, and she knows she can ruin my lunch, which is not easy to do if she points it out enough. And she takes her finger up against the ketchup, and she shows me the top, and there was a parade of almost microscopic insects that were
bugs on the ketchup.
I thought you were going to say it was water. But
something,
bugs.
Oh God, that's worse. Now there's an old urban legend about restaurant ketchup that sometimes the ketchup in the bottom of the bottle is 2 and 3 and 5 years old because these restaurants just fill it up.
Yeah.
So the bottom ketchup never gets used. So, but you've taken it to a new level when you actually have wildlife on the ketchup.
And you have this weird thing about you, Mike, and it's not necessarily weird. It's different. Where you don't want to go to your chain restaurants. You want to find that restaurant that's off the beaten path.
And it goes back to you used to
Can't
love.
stand a chain.
You would search out the Iron Skillet Cafe on 95, and
even though that might qualify as a bit of, I think there are a few of them. There might be more than one, so it might. Well, you still can't really call that a chain.
I went there once.
That was unique.
I went there once based on your recommendation, and I tell you what, on the buffet, I looked at the sausage gravy, and it was growing skin. And I'm not just talking about a film; I'm talking about a life form. This was
right outside
dangerous.
of Fredericksburg, Virginia. Right?
I do believe it's the only restaurant that Carrie and I have ever walked out of. Was the Iron Skillet Cafe. But even then, there was no bugs on the condiments.
But we were the only people in there, except for like this German couple that came in about 10 minutes after we sat down. And
they're hiding out there.
For some reason,
why are there other people in here? Why are there other people in here? We were told this was to be safe.
I was so paralyzed that I didn't look. It was the only game in town. I had a whole Deliverance vibe going on that if we'd gotten up, we would have offended the guy and he would have brought out his shotgun. There was no reason. The flea instinct was there. The instinct was there to sit down and look at that ketchup and go, forget it. But we had already ordered and we all stayed there. And in Catherine, in my case, being the O'Maras that we are,
right,
we enjoyed our sandwiches at the bar.
Good.
Carla didn't touch her. She asked for extra mayonnaise. And they brought out the little what are they called? They're not tureens. They're little they're the little containers that keep the ketchup and the mayonnaise in them. They're made out of plastic. And the mayonnaise was in there. And then Carla said, "Well, this looks okay." I said, "Well, you might want to check the other side." And on the other side of the mayo was that, you know how it gets almost that yellow crystallized mayonnaise?
Changes color. Yeah, it does when it ages.
The film.
I would like to congratulate you both on being a member of the Clean Plate Club, but do you think the reason that you had the flea instinct is because there were actually fleas on the ketchup?
It was, all I know is about a half an hour after we left, we were all kind of checking our tummies. Carla, because she didn't eat anything. Carla doesn't care. You know this. Carla doesn't care about making the scene and going, "We should leave. This is disgusting." I said, "Look where you are." I said, "Be quiet. Be quiet. Don't say anything to the mountain man behind the bar. You're going to offend him." "But these have obviously never been cleaned." I said, Carla, leave. If you have to leave, just walk out. But I'm staying in here. I'm staying
hungry.
in here right now. It was not hungry as much as it was fear.
Yeah, it was fear. I think that really what I would have listened for if I'd gone into that restaurant, as soon as you sat down, the sound of a steel deadbolt closing in the door. Like, you can come in anytime you want, but you can never leave.
Carla feels as though every place she goes into, if there are waiters and there is a restaurant there, that we are to expect a certain level of quality that you would see at a fine dining establishment, and it just doesn't happen.
Really, even after all these years with you?
Going to the dives. That
Exactly,
I like to go
yeah.
to.
You like adventure eating.
This is exactly what I wanted to do. I said, look, Well, just be polite. If you don't want to eat it, don't eat it. She said, I'm sending this back. You are not sending that back.
Oh,
we will
no.
tell
Do
the man.
not.
We will tell the man that we want to wrap it up and take it. And we wrapped it up and took it out with us, a full, uneaten hamburger with no crusty mayonnaise on it. And but Catherine and I'll be honest with you, we didn't have the mayo on our burger, and I'd say Catherine and I knocked back 3/4 of our burgers.
Okay.
And how do you feel today?
Well, at least you didn't get food poisoning.
Yeah, you
no,
made
no
it.
food poisoning.
You made
it was
it.
on to the it was on to Gatorland, and it was just look. The weekend with my daughter was special because of just having her down here and having her into coming down here because, lots of moving parts. I've communicated with it with the listeners. It's a big deal. Change is difficult sometimes, but in Catherine's case, she goes with the flow, and she's very, very excited to come down here. And Carla laid out a whole plan of activities that we could participate with her so that she would enjoy it. And then, next time she's going to bring buddies down. So it was very, very cool. But it was a cold weekend down here in the upper 50s in the morning down here. So it was a little cooler than normal. So we had all sorts of fun activities. And I planned kind of an itinerary that I would have had for her when she was 10.
Well, can you explain the itinerary then?
Okay, number one was we went to the zoo.
Oh, people say it's all happening at the zoo.
But with daughters, you can, when a daughter is 18, you can go to the zoo. It doesn't matter. I'm not sure you'd want to do that with an 18-year-old boy.
We've got the National Zoo here.
That's true.
The
We've got a
National
pretty good
Zoo.
zoo up here.
Yeah, but you don't have the Naples Zoo.
Be honest with yourself.
What?
Like, what is does the Naples Zoo have a panda?
The Naples Zoo has a lion.
We have lions.
It has one lion. One of them died. One of them died recently.
And how would you describe the demeanor of the Naples lion? Is it a little lazy?
No, the Naples lion was actually quite cool, sitting over there on the rock. The cats,
Waiting
when you
to
go
die.
to a zoo. First of all, I don't like zoos. I'm not a zoo person. I don't dig it. I don't like the morning zoo.
Hey, man,
I
don't
really
like
don't
it.
enjoy. I don't enjoy zoos. That's why I was not a good zookeeper.
You were the best zookeeper.
No, I don't dig zoos because I
The
really do
Naples
believe.
Zoo looks low rent.
No, it's really not.
Oh,
It's
look
actually
at this.
It's
Look
pretty
at
well
that. Bring up a
traveled.
picture.
Wow, that looks great. That
Yeah.
looks like something. I think that might have been the zoo from the beginning of Three's Company.
That's not true. That is not true.
Well, you've got the one lazy lion who's waiting to die. What other wildlife do they have there?
They had a leopard or a cheetah. They had something like that.
Oscar's showing me a sign right now, a close-up. It says Naples Zoo, and then in fine print it says specializing in aged animals.
It's actually tragic. Right now, Google Reviews gives it a 3.5 out of 5 stars.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Not great. That's a 70%.
They've got a nice gift shop. They've got a nice gift
Do they have
shop.
plenty of handicap
Oh my
parking?
God. Their feature animal on their website is an anteater. I
Yeah.
kid you not.
Yeah.
That's not
He
a
was,
panda.
he was hibernating. We didn't see him. We saw a bear. They had a bear.
They had a bear.
They had a bear. They had some monkeys.
Now, do you think that the anteater was hibernating, or was it just nap time? Did you
you know-
stop by at siesta?
It was probably about, I want to say it was about 1 o'clock in the afternoon when we swung by.
Sure.
And they have a little like pontoon boat that you can get on and go out into the middle of this little man-made lake and see the monkeys that they have on the island.
Do they let you get on the pontoon boat after you sign a stack of release forms?
The pontoon boat, the line was a little bit too long for the pontoon boat.
Here's their tagline:
They have good.
wild
Go
fun
ahead.
from apes to zebras.
Yeah, it was fun.
Because
It was,
it's A to Z, Mike. You see, they've got everything.
Catherine fed the giraffes.
Really?
Oh, that's sweet.
That's
They
great.
had a giraffe. So we're not talking about a slouch zoo. When you can feed a giraffe, in my opinion, when you can feed a giraffe, that's a pretty good zoo.
Was there really a zebra?
No, the giraffe. There was not a zebra. Where did I?
Because
say
he
zebra?
said apes to zebras. I'm wondering if you actually saw a zebra while they were there.
I didn't. There were the type of gazelles that you see with those weird names that I can't pronounce.
Okay.
There was a leopard, the aforementioned leopard. Then there were coyotes.
Now, are you at the zoo, or are these the things that are hanging around outside the zoo, waiting for the animals to pass?
the coyotes, it was not necessarily about the quantity or quality or seeing the exclusive giant panda at the Nation Zoo. This was just about a family get-together and an outing. And the point I was trying to make about zoos in general is that, what, Oscar?
I'm sorry, I can't help it, but they apparently have honey badgers.
Oh, the honey badger.
Yeah, he was hibernating. We didn't see him.
So really, they don't have all these animals. They just have signs that say they have these animals?
Well, you've even gone to the Big Time Zoo, and the Big Time Zoo, if you're there like on a chilly morning, sometimes the animals have gone into their enclosure and they're not out seeing. It's not like it's showtime. They're wild animals that are behind a cage, but they come out when they feel like it because they're not obligated. It's like, oh, excuse me, the tour bus is here from Magruder High School. Can you make sure you go out and do your show? It doesn't work like that.
No, what it is, this is what the honey badger is just biding inside. This is like double-A ball. And the honey badger can't wait to get to the big show. And the big show is up in D.C. And what you got, how many animals would you say they offered, and how many did you say you actually saw?
I would say of all the enclosures that we went by on this particular chilly day, there was probably about a 30% turnout.
Wow, not great.
But I have been to the National Zoo and had the same experience where they're, depending on weather conditions, sometimes they're not all available like that. And, the fact is, though, whether it's a good zoo or a bad zoo, I don't like the entertainment form. I don't like really, and this is the sensitive side of it.
Yes,
I don't like to see animals that are outside of their natural environment. Now, it was either a leopard or a cheetah or one of those cats, those big cats with spots, and he was pacing along the fence line, not even acknowledging anybody. And I said, he just looked miserable. He looked, man, I've seen that in other zoos in other parts of the country where the animals just don't look like, they're not meant to be there, especially something like a cheetah. You're meant to travel 70 miles an hour out on the open plain hunting down your brunch.
You're being actually very kind by calling it enclosure because they really are just caged, and they're not really they're not taking care of the creatures like they did at Gatorama.
So nasty. Speaking of Gatorama, we'll take a break, and I will tell you that after we went to the zoo, it was time to see animals in their real habitat, which we did. And there's a part down here, a place, I'm not going to mention names because it's my secret little fun place that I take everybody to actually see alligators. Yeah, that's right. It's my crawl space. Some place to see alligators in the wild. We'll tell you about that coming up. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara. This segment of the program is brought to you by Encore Insurance Services. We love Encore. They were very, very instrumental in getting us out to the Consumer Electronics Show out in Las Vegas. It's a brand new year, and if you're out there shopping insurance, it's hard to know which company offers the best value. Encore Insurance can help you with that. They survey the most highly rated companies in the insurance industry to compare premiums. They do all the work so you don't have to. Oscar used them. We love them. Just call toll-free at 866-347-5748 to get a free life insurance quote. It's all free. There's no obligation, and no salesman will visit you. If you prefer computers, just visit smartterm.com. That's SMARTTERM.com. That's where you'll find the license, disclaimer, and quality consumer service. Customer service, that is. Encore Insurance Services, LLC. Stop paying too much for life insurance. Protect your family the smart way at smartterm.com. Well, happy Monday, everybody. We're glad to be with you on the Mike O'Mara Show. We'll get to our discussion of the NFC and AFC Championship fun, including my many, many dramatic mood swings over the weekend, even though I didn't really have a dog in the fight. But I wanted to tell you about zoos and the real habitat for animals. There is a place, and I didn't get a chance to take Oscar down there when he was here, but I did take my daughter. After we went to see animals at the fabulous 30% Naples Zoo.
That's right. Remember, 30% will get you the Hall of Fame, Mike. That's pretty good.
We decided to go down and see. There's a place I know, and in fact, it was actually recommended to me years ago down here when I got stopped for speeding by a cop, and I'll never forget it because I said, sorry, we're kind of busy, busting ass to get down and see these alligators. And he said, well, you're going in the wrong direction. If you really want a place where you can drive to and see alligators in the wild, and he mentioned this particular road that will go nameless, like it's a big super secret. But
how was the relationship with the cop? Did he give you a ticket?
He gave me a warning ticket, and he knew that I had a family full of kids,
right?
And he knew that I was doing this, and he was just giving me a break, and he was an ultra cool cop
that
good. Said, if you really want some good viewing, and so every time I'm down here, we love to go to this place. Now, it is deep into the Glades. It is probably an hour and a half into the Everglades. You have to drive on it. It's a main drag that you're on, but then you turn off of it, and you're on a dirt road, and you drive for a little bit on this dirt road. And you come up, you can drive right up to this canal that's almost at tire level, just a couple of inches down. And in the canal, well, it used to be juvenile alligators, like 3 to 4 foot to 5 foot alligators.
Oh, those are big, though.
And they're big compared to, the little babies you see. But these, I'll tell you, it was an amazingly target-rich environment because it was cold down here. And when it's cold, they come out of the water and they get up on the bank to sun themselves, and it was amazing, including in the wild, probably the largest alligator I've ever seen in my life. This thing, the guy that was taking pictures of it next to me said it was probably 10 feet long.
Wow.
And, that's like something you would see in a movie. It was really amazing.
When you see the guy taking pictures, did you say, shoot him? Shoot him!
Shoot him, Elizabeth!
Shoot him, Elizabeth! Now,
go ahead.
I've never been into that area of the Everglades, so when you get on the dirt road, and the Everglades is essentially a huge swamp, right?
It is, yeah. It doesn't feel like that because, you're on a road. You're on an improved road. But if you look to the right and left in many cases, you're not sure that if you set foot in there, whether you come up to your waist or not because you don't know if it's all muddy. It is an amazing wilderness down here because it really is unspoiled. It's not a wilderness in the sense of, big, tall trees.
Right.
It's just a lot of flora, a lot of fun, amazing amount of bird life that's down here. And, it's funny when I said, this is such an unusual find to see those alligators. I guess it's an unusual find unless you're watching like 15 different reality shows where they have those alligators that are on there all the time. Because I think the number is somewhere in excess of 1 million alligators that are down here in South Florida, but I'm still fascinated by them because they're dinosaurs, basically. It's like looking at the dinosaurs. I love it.
Well, I mean, you could never really get used to it no matter how much you see it on TV because you're living it, you're seeing it. Yeah. Is it to a point where do you get out of the car? Do you feel you're in danger if you get out of the car because you're that close?
When you come up with the car and you get out of the car, and Catherine and I had to get out just to look at this 10-footer. The 10-foot alligator is across the canal on the other side.
Okay.
And they're splayed out all over the place. The only problem is you've got a great view of the embankment that's across the canal. You don't have a really good view of the embankment that you're standing on.
So they could attack.
You have to be vigilant. They're not necessarily known for doing that down here. People that get in trouble with gators are usually people that involve themselves in the water somehow, and usually at dusk or at sunrise because that's when they get into trouble and they substitute you for food, and it happens like that. But it still is, you're looking at something that could kill you if he got his jaws on you, and it's fascinating, and I love it because it was the polar opposite to me of that little rat-ass zoo that we went to because, you're really out there where these creatures live, and it's, how many places in the United States that are left do you have creatures that could probably kill you that are pretty much left to their own devices?
Well, that's
not many at all.
Just Herndon.
That's a very dangerous group of people that are in Herndon. They had They had a water moccasin also, a dead one that was in the middle of the dirt road that we drove by, and that had we identified it as a water moccasin after we went online just to see the coloring of it.
Right.
But it was difficult because the little hawk that was also on top of it had taken its head off.
God, the zoo was nothing.
Like a whole day of nature.
The zoo was nothing compared to this ride on this dirt road. Now, my question is, though,
the zoo was nothing compared to the the Deliverance food camp that we stopped at, where we got the ptomaine poisoning.
Yeah, you turn left at Krusty Mayonnaise Road.
It was very, very scary.
It's ancient ketchup.
It's one of my favorite places down here because it's so unique. You get down here. Oscar was just here. He makes a joke about the cocoon neighborhood that I live in, and that's what a lot of this part of Florida is like.
Yeah.
You've got house after house after house. You've got very safe, contained environments where nothing ever changes and no one ever dies. Well, they do die. Do they die?
Yeah, it's got a very, very thriving funeral business down there. Great funeral industry.
I'm reasonably sure when I talk about they might die.
Yes.
The guy in the Office Depot that was in back of me 2 days ago. I bet you he's still not. Well, he's dead. Anyway.
You sure he didn't finish that project?
Well, when you see a for sale sign go up in your neighborhood, do you do the sign of the cross, or do you wonder, are they moving somewhere else?
It's like somebody has switched chairs in the waiting room.
Well, the thing is about Florida is, for so many people, Mike, the final destination. And I don't mean that as far as death. I mean,
Yes.
people move to Florida. You never hear about people moving away from Florida.
This is like D.C., that everybody down here is from somewhere else. That's the way it works. You rarely meet somebody who's a native, but there are the younger people down here. A lot of them are natives that have been here. You know, you don't see older people that are natives down here that often. The people that are, lifelong Floridians are usually 25, 35 years old, and I think that's kind of cool. Incidentally, speaking of that, I was having the air conditioning guy come out and take a look at a little problem I had with the air conditioner, and his name was, he might still be here, his name was Jose Martinez.
Oh.
And,
Jose.
I don't know, Oscar, maybe you could speak to this, because we certainly had a discussion on the bonus show last week about certain subjects, but I made the comment, I said, well, that's kind of like if you were a white guy, that would be the name John Smith. Wouldn't that be what it is? And then it was like, and then there was no comment.
I feel the same way
at all.
Maybe he didn't.
Yeah. And I immediately started, I'm stammering, and I said, well, I've got a guy that I work with. He's from Bolivia.
It's okay, because he's Spanish.
Mike, maybe he didn't speak
No, I'm
English.
not racist.
He might not have understood you. So, I mean, they could have been that. He understood.
No, that's not true, Rob. You're making it worse.
No, I'm trying to help.
He spoke better English than Pony. Thank you very much.
Well, who doesn't? Now, when you were talking to the Gators, and we have been in several situations where you are among wildlife, I'm curious, at any point, to entertain your wife, your little son, your daughter, did you speak to the alligators?
I spoke to the alligators. Catherine,
Can you reenact it?
Catherine reminded me that the last time we had gone to this little place, that I had made a sound that caused two of them to jump into the water, and I had forgotten. I had forgotten what the sound was, but I also made when we saw the lion at the zoo, and this is with a lot of people around. I was also making sound. I like to communicate. Communication is my life. And I tried to actually communicate with the lion. This is the sound that I made with that.
What is that supposed to do?
Well, I've seen that on National Geographic specials. So
is that just for the lion, or is that for all wildlife?
No, with the gator, I was kind of going.
It's like a mating call.
That's the same. When I do my.
You live to entertain. You are like Dr. Doolittle.
Are you taking pictures of all this, or are you just hanging out?
I took a picture of Catherine feeding the giraffe.
Oh, that's sweet.
I took a picture. I don't think I took any pictures of the gators. I should have done that, but unless you've got, they're far enough away where. Look, we all like our cell phone technology, but when you're talking about the ability to really do a decent zoom, you really can't do a decent zoom. And in the wildlife, you need a zoom lens to get that done. That's the way it should be done primarily.
Did you make noises at the giraffe?
No, I actually also fed that you go to the little tiki hut.
Yes,
at
of
the
course
Naples
you
Zoo.
Of course you do.
That has and it says feed the giraffes, and you pay $5.
Of course, that's the main part. It's really not about feeding the giraffe; it's giving them the $5.
You pay $5 to get 49 cents worth of romaine lettuce, and you take the lettuce into the little square area, and you dodge the meth head that was coming by, going, "I want to feed the giraffe." You dodge her, and then you feed the giraffe, and I did not make any sounds for the giraffe.
Did you do any celebrity impressions?
Yeah, I did Dean Martin. Hey, I want to get that meatball. Hey, how'd you get all them spots? How you doing there? How you doing? But that's it. Other than that, as far as the exciting day when we were out and about, the only exciting thing I could tell you about the Naples Zoo is that they sell a very, very mean chocolate-dipped frozen banana. Never had one before. I'm sure, amusement park boy, I'm sure you've had one before. I'm sure you've had a frozen banana.
I have never had one. I've seen them often.
I don't know what that is.
Well, it's a banana, and it's
You
frozen.
know why he hasn't? He has it because it's fruit.
That's right. There's just too much nutrition.
But is it covered
too much
in chocolate?
nutrition? Yes, it's dipped in chocolate.
Okay.
Probably a wax-based chocolate. So once the banana is frozen,
Yummy.
the
It was so
chocolate
good.
will adhere to it.
It was so good, and I like Rob. And Rob, I swear to God, Oscar, fat guys the same way. Now, listen, this is purely fattening.
Yes.
Because it's got chocolate all over it. But the fact is, the average fat person, the obese person shies away from anything that even approaches a health-conscious snack.
true
And the
enough.
fact that this is a banana, all the chocolate in the world doesn't cover up the fact that it's, covering something that's actually good for you.
Well, you could just eat the chocolate and give the banana to someone else.
But it was absolutely a tremendous snack, and not only did I like them, but I'm going to maybe try to make them on my own. It's that good. I really enjoyed myself.
You know what they say, Mike? There's always money in the banana stand. You can maybe even sell them in the neighborhood.
We'll take a break when we come back. Oh, the many moods of watching the NFC Championship game. Yes, sirree. The Seattle Seahawks, the San Francisco 49ers, and my abrupt change in direction based on a post-game interview. We'll come right back. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. This segment of our program is brought to you by something we have not mentioned in a while, the Mike O'Mara Show Amazon page. We want to get right on that at the beginning of the year because this is truly the best way to buy anything and everything you need at our Amazon page. I cannot tell you how grateful I am to all of our listeners that share with me their stories about supporting us on Amazon. I think it was the first one we ever had, and it's the best one because people shop on Amazon, they get great deals, and at the same time, if they go through the Mike O'Mara Show homepage, you are able to support the show. And it really is, still, to this day, the number one way monetarily to support this show. And you don't pay us anything. You just get the good deals on Amazon, and we get a chunk of it. That's the way it works.
A lot of people don't understand this. In fact, my own mother said, she says, how much extra do I have to pay to support your show through Amazon? There is no extra charge. You're paying the exact same thing you would do if you accessed Amazon any other way. But by clicking through our website, you help us out tremendously.
And by chunk, 1 or 2% doesn't seem like a lot, but the more you do it, it all adds up for us.
It do.
Yeah, especially people that work in offices and order your office supplies. That's really, really helpful for the show. Paper clips, coffee, office needs, cleaning supplies. If you need it, Amazon's got it all. Always open at MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon. Thank you in advance for that. Okay, big day in the NFL yesterday. Really terrific football games, especially the NFC game, which was, at the Super Bowl, the very first thing I posted before I saw the Thug interview, the very first thing that I posted was the fact that if this NFC Championship game is anything like the Super Bowl, it's going to be a phenomenal Super Bowl. It's one of the reasons I love the NFL. This was just smash-mouth football, body blow, back and forth. It was continuous. It was Seattle, a team that, they've been there once, but these are long-suffering fans in Seattle. That's why I kind of jumped on the bandwagon at the last minute. It was fun to watch. And in San Francisco, we've got a tremendous fan base of listeners to TMOS that love San Francisco. And I just thought it was a pretty amazing game. It was really, really fun watching that, and it's what makes the NFL so very great with the amazing fans out in Seattle. But then it all turned, and I didn't waste any time posting about it when they did this little look. I don't know what you have to do, and I don't know who you have to say it to, and I don't know if it'll ever change. But I maintain once again that culturally in the NFL, the trash talk era, I think when you're talking about these guys that are basically a few steps removed from being high school kids, when they are allowed to behave like toddlers, I just think it is an absolutely abysmal message to send to children that are out there putting these guys on pedestals. And I'm talking about Richard Sherman, a defensive back, really that won the game for Seattle. And you would think he would be in a celebratory mode, but no. He was in a mood to almost take the head off of Aaron Andrews and scream about how he's the greatest and don't talk S about me. Fortunately, he didn't say anything. They didn't have to bleep him out. He was getting there, though, getting all ramped up. And I just said, here we go again with another just classless, embarrassing display. And it's not Richard Sherman's fault. It is the fault of the NFL for not coming down. They've made little, celebration rules before.
Sure.
I think they got to go much further. They have to go much further. This is getting ridiculous.
There's two different things here. There's one, if you didn't get a chance to see it, basically, Richard Sherman wins the game. He basically bats away the ball that would have been the winning touchdown.
Do you want to hear the tape?
First
of all,
I'll set the scene for you. This is Richard Sherman who bats away the ball in the end zone.
Do you want to hear that
game.
play? Do you want to hear that play? Where he
did
it?
I don't need to hear the play because I can describe the play. That he bats the ball in the end zone up to his other defensive back who gets it for an interception, virtually ending the game. Not virtually, he actually ended the game for the Seattle Seahawks. They won the game based on this defensive play, and it's a time for celebration. You're going to the Super Bowl, and immediately after the play, Aaron Andrews comes up to this douche, Richard Sherman, for the post-game interview, and you'll hear what I'm talking about right here.
Richard, let me ask you the final play. Take me through it.
Well, I'm the best corner in the game. When you try me with a sorry receiver like Crabtree, that's the result you're going to get. Don't you ever talk about me.
Who was talking about you?
Crabtree, don't you open your mouth about the best. Or I'm going to shut it for you real quick. LOB.
All right, and Joe, back over to you.
Wow.
Now the video.
Aaron Andrews looked like a deer in the headlights.
Yeah, the video does it much more justice because
much more intense.
Aaron Andrews looked
like she's about to lose her
she
life.
was looking for security.
Yeah, it was scary.
I tried to soften it, Mike. Let me try this. I want to play it one more time, but change it a little bit. See if you think with this presentation, Richard Sherman comes off as more of a hero. Okay.
Try me with a sorry receiver like Crabtree, that's the result you're going to get. Don't you ever talk about me, Crabtree. Don't you open your mouth about the best, or I'm going to shut it for you real quick.
Way to soften the blow, Rob.
I think it makes him much more agreeable. It was just my thought. I don't know.
It's just... all I'm talking about is...
class.
You win the game, man.
Yes.
You've proven it all. And this mouthing off crap, it is so non-adult. Behave like an adult. Now, look, the overwhelming response of people online about this has been negative, but there is the segment of people that are saying, hey, it's part of the NFL. Oh, kiss my ass. It's not part of anything. What it's part of is you're talking about children that need discipline, okay? You're talking about guys that are really a few years removed from high school. These are not adults. When you behave like that, you're not an adult to me. You're not an adult. It doesn't make you manly that you've just won the biggest game in your NFL career, and as opposed to saying, way to go, this is a great moment, I can't believe how satisfied I am, we got another one to win, you have to take all of that. Well, this is what a child does. You take that joy of the moment and you turn it into a complete negative by showing up the other guy. Do you think that Crabtree, the receiver, needs to be reminded?
No.
That he got shown up? Of course he got shown up, but you gotta shove it in his face, and then of course Crabtree shoved Richard Sherman. It just, to me, you got 10-year-old boys watching this, and I think we got to put a lid on it. And if you can't, you can do that. My God, they prevent these players from wearing logos of other corporations. They give a rat's ass about that.
They do.
Change the culture. Change the culture. And really, I don't need the dancing. I don't need the celebration. I don't need the jumping into the second row. This sport stands on its own merit.
I love all of that. I love all of that.
Because you were raised with it. Because we're generationally different. You were raised with this crap.
I love the Lambeau Leap. I love the fact that they celebrate. And I'm not just talking about the fans. I'm not just talking about the athletes. I'm talking about the coaches. I love seeing the Gatorade bath. What I hated, and I agree with you here, I hated the way that Richard Sherman answered that question. What he should have said is, that was one of the greatest plays of my life. I couldn't have done it alone. I think my family. I thank God. I thank my teammates. I hope we have the same amount of success at the Super Bowl. Thank you so much for your time. I'm out.
Yeah, and I agree with Oscar. I don't mind the celebration. I think celebration is great. But what happened is he could have used some celebration there. She asked him the softest of softball questions.
Yeah, it was easy.
Can you take me through that play? His first reaction was not about the play. His first reaction was that this guy sucks and I'm the best. And that really doesn't have anything to do with the play, and in fact, it diminishes both of them. And I hate that.
I'm going to agree because I get ramped up about this, and I think to an extreme that's probably not realistic because the celebration is terrific. I think we love to see the celebration in baseball when the last pitch of the World Series is thrown. We love to see the touchdown celebration. There's a big difference between that and showing up another opponent. I'm going to give you an example. I know this might be a stupid example, but this is the one that I'm pulling right now. What's the first thing that happens when you have two people that are competing for the title of American Idol, and they name one? What's the very first thing that happens?
They hug.
They turn to their opponent that they've just defeated, and they hug them.
Yes.
And it is their way of saying, I am so filled with joy right now, but I completely and totally understand, as an empathetic human being, your heartbreak. I really don't want to read too much into this with the NFL, but I really feel when we don't show humanity, even in our most joyous moments of our life, if we diminish other human beings at that moment, it just sends a bad message to the kids. This is a child's game.
I agree.
Watched by children.
I agree with you, though.
And adults.
But you also have to look at it this way. The game prior to the NFC Championship game was the AFC Championship game, and you have Tom Brady and Peyton Manning standing up in front of a microphone saying, what a great game. The better team won. And they did it in a classy way. Yep. And they both, Brady himself, he looked like he was beat down, but he stood up and talked about it.
The quarterback, I'm blocking the quarterback of the Seattle Seahawks. Is it Russell Wilson?
Yeah, you got it.
Is that? And just a tale of two ways of handling that. And I just want, the fact is that these are young men, but they are grown men. Yes, you could say that the NFL is war. No, it's not. It's not war. And the fact is, when you're developing personalities that you want to, everybody's seen it, man. Everybody universally looked at that move and said, that's no class. And I know you guys say you like the celebration, you like the Lambeau Leap, but I'm saying this
isn't celebration.
It's an extension of it, though.
Yeah, but this isn't celebration. This is generally what this is boasting. That's all he's doing.
Well, part of the culture of the NFL, especially in the defensive backfield and with receivers and DBs, is, well, you've talked to Dominique about this. It's trash talk. Yeah, it's a large part of it, right? It's part of the game.
Can I play devil's advocate for a second?
Sure.
Do you give him any sort of slack based on the fact it was the heat of the moment and he was still in a game sort of a mindset, and he might not have been thinking as clearly as possible?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I thought about that too. You have to, we've all known NFL players, and the fact is, it's no secret that you're really experiencing the kind of physical activity that you're putting your body on the line. You are, especially in that defensive backfield. You're doing that. You have to work yourself up into a frenzy, but still at the same time, you gather yourself up enough to catch yourself in a moment like that. I don't mind saying he talked about he was out of his mind, and he looked like a child.
No, I thought
he looked like a small child.
I thought he was just. I was like, if you were on steroids, that's right. You're roid raging out in front of the entire
it did seem like
the entire world right now.
They did let him speak.
That's alleged.
They did let him. Thank you, Oscar. We're covered now. They did let him speak to the crowd after he composed himself and after the the Hallis Trophy was presented. Do you want to hear how he did credit the team a little while later?
Well, I heard the interview on the Fox 5. Fox 5. I heard the interview on the Fox set. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, no, this is him when
he gathered himself a little bit.
When he's addressing the crowd, and he does share the credit a little bit.
That's as sweet as it gets, man. We knew it would come down to us in the back end to win this thing. Our front seven played amazing. Our linebackers played amazing. Our offense did an amazing job. So we knew we'd have to finish this off. I trust my teammates, and they trust me. And it was a team effort.
Still I.
Yeah, there's a lot of I in there.
No, it's still gather yourself, dude. You're disciplined enough to play in the NFL. Discipline yourself enough emotionally to gather yourself as a real man after the game. And there are plenty of great players that have gathered themselves and shown a little dignity and a little class.
A lot of pressure, a lot of and you're right, because you're on such a large stage. I remember the closest thing I could ever compare this to is when we were in Reno.
Right.
And we were about to go on stage, and one of our close friends ruined the opening of the actual live show. And Mike was melting down, and when we got on stage, it was showtime. You didn't go crazy.
Yeah, because
You know?
don't.
You
don't.
can't,
You gather
'cause you can't.
yourself. You know?
Gotta gather
and
yourself.
really,
Now, you
and-
punched
and-
Rob and I in the face backstage,
That's right.
but you didn't go crazy in public.
No, before
Was
we
that
hit the
the-
stage, you picked up Oscar and hit me with Oscar, which was odd.
Oscar, that was probably Oscar likes to do the mic doing the like that. I saw a little of that today. Actually,
I thought you were gonna have a heart attack today.
The thing that was truly. That was the beginning of that impression, wasn't it?
Yes,
that was
yes.
where you really saw, because I went from great joy to just watching things handled so poorly and without any concern for it. That's what killed me.
A lot of
concerned me.
laissez-faire, as the French would say.
Lots of very slow, pot-addled movement. That's what it was.
Taking glasses and moving them down to the very tip of your nose and saying, "Let's have
Slowly.
a look. Let's have a look at this." There are actually
Because
photographs on Facebook that capture that moment. That when I look at them, they still make me uneasy because there are the faces that everybody is making in the picture is like, oh my God, that really happened.
It all worked out though for the better.
It did.
And to tie it all together very nicely, since I mentioned pot-addled, Jimmy Cerrito. Now, I know this is probably not original.
No.
I don't care. But I got it from Jimmy. So listen, when you're going to tell me that's not an original idea, it doesn't matter. I got it from Jimmy. It's the first time I saw it, so it made me laugh. Denver, Seattle, Stoner Bowl.
The Stoner Bowl!
Stoner Bowl is the funniest thing, because you got Seattle, grunge rock city.
So true.
And you've got Denver, Colorado with their brand new laws and Stoner Bowl.
What was the amazing thing is I read about Stoner Bowl and I wanted to get, we're going to be at Jimmy's for the Super Bowl and I wanted to get the plans underway. I looked on the websites. They said, when does the Super Bowl start? I don't know, 7:15. When did it get there, dude?
So the Super Bowl, not this coming weekend, but the weekend after.
They do the Pro Bowl this weekend, right?
They're doing I think it's the Pro Bowl, and then we're going to buddy Chris get in touch with Jimmy about that. I love him like a brother, Oscar, but nothing's ever free.
Okay.
Anyway,
that's true, and I found out about it on social networking that we're going to be there.
I thought you had signed off on it because I didn't know anything about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we always go to Jimmy's for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Of course we do, and we have a good time.
And we always will go to Jimmy's for the Super Bowl.
We'll have to have a post-show meeting.
Did you see what Jimmy is adding to the
Did
to
you
the
guys
menu?
really not think we were going to the Super Bowl at Jimmy's?
No, I knew we were.
Well, I figured we'd be going. But you know what? Sometimes too much of a good thing is too much of a good thing.
Oh, stop it.
What are you
That's my
doing?
best buddy. You're just working.
Look at him now. He's
son of a
hiding
bitch.
behind his computer.
That's Oscar picking scabs.
Did you
Let me
see-
give you the text that I got yesterday.
Okay,
'cause
very
this
good.
Really,
I love Jimmy's.
Really, I mean, he is just he can really from a distance. Jimmy's text can even make me laugh.
Sure.
So 10:09 p.m. Jimmy writes Stoner Bowl. And I write, there's a big difference. And incidentally, if you want to speak my texting,
Yes.
if I give you an LOL, I'm laughing. I'm giving you a little chuckle. But if I give you the actual ha 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 ha, that's meaning that I really think it's funny. I said, "Is that an original?" And he says, "I stole it from the cook." So some stoner in Jimmy's kitchen.
Yeah, that's what's
Stoner
important
Bowl,
to some people.
dude.
That's what's important to some people. Did you see, speaking of Jimmy's Cook, what he's added to the menu for Super Bowl Sunday?
Yeah, Rocky Mountain oysters.
Yes.
Bull's balls.
And
right?
I believe haven't we eaten them before?
I know that I ate them with Jimmy in Denver, Colorado.
Were they still attached?
No, they were not. We went to some place, I forgot, it's a famous old restaurant in Denver. Our listeners will know what I'm talking about. And we had the Rocky Mountain oysters. We actually had them, and they had an interesting livery quality.
That's
to
what
them.
I recall, because I think, remember we went on sort of a gross food binge when we were on terrestrial
Right.
radio? And I know
Yeah,
we
that's
had
right.
haggis, and we had the
Yep.
the eggs that had the chickens in them. That's the one thing I couldn't eat.
Balut,
exactly. And I
balut,
think
which was the unfermented, the unfertilized, like duck egg.
that's the one where I think I said, Mike, have fun. I can't do this one.
Yeah,
When I saw
I
it
ate it.
looking back at me, I couldn't do it. But I think the word that I took away, and I think we did have the balls that time, is livery. Like chewy
It
liver.
tasted like liver?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's going to really. I think
Some people
Jimmy
are
is
into
planning. Jimmy is actually planning on really having them at his restaurant, and of course, once the contract's signed, we'll have more information.
All right.
That's the way I look at that. That's terrific.
Should be fun.
I will leave you with this thought before we go to news you may not need, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Watching your kids grow up has its problems, and maybe we can talk about this tomorrow. As my daughter was walking into the house, and I said, do you like that guy? She was talking about a boy.
Yeah.
She says, no, Dad, I just think he wants to get into my pants.
Oh!
Wow! Yep. The father of an 18-year-old.
Wow.
Yeah, we'll take a break. We will come back with news you may not need on the Mike O'Mara Show, everybody. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, brought to you by Stamps.com. Hey, folks, listen up. If you haven't heard, postage rates are changing again. So you know what that means. The post office will be even more crowded than usual. Yuck.
Yuck.
That's why we use Stamps.com at the Mike O'Mara Show. Stamps.com lets you do everything that you would do at the post office right from your desk. You can buy and print postage on demand for any letter or package with your own computer and printer. But wait, there's more. Stamps.com will even send you a digital scale that plugs right into your computer that will calculate official U.S. postage for any class of mail. Print the postage you need the instant you need it. Then the mailman picks it up. Makes wasting time at the post office a thing of the past. We've used Stamps.com for months, and we love it, and it gets even better for our listeners. Check this out, a 30-day trial, no risk, $110 bonus thrown in with that, including a digital scale and up to $55 in free postage. And all you have to do is go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone, and use our code TMOS. Don't wait. Go to Stamps.com, and before you do anything else, click on the mic at the top of the homepage and type TMOS. Remember Stamps.com and enter TMOS, and then smile, because Stamps.com makes it easy for you, everybody. Perfect.
From around the globe, across the nation, looking through your neighbor's window, the Mike O'Mara Show now presents News You May Not Need, a comprehensive look at the stories you may or may not be talking about during your daily activity. And now, news you may not need.
Rob's main man, Chris Christie, was in Florida over the weekend. I didn't get a chance to take him down to see the alligators.
I bet he had a chocolate-covered banana.
Probably has those in his pocket. He was on a fundraising trip, but the New Jersey governor still can't shake the accusations of punishing uncooperative state officials if they don't play ball with the governor's office. Over the weekend, the mayor of Hoboken stuck to her story that two members of Christie's administration, including his lieutenant governor, threatened to withhold hurricane relief for Hurricane Sandy if she did not back a redevelopment project that was advocated by the governor's office. So, this guy
doesn't look good for him, but I'll tell you what else doesn't look good is that mayor of Hoboken. She is.
I didn't see her.
She looks like she needs to get a little more sleep. Maybe there's something going on there. Yeah.
Well, it's Hoboken, right?
It is. Well, she's the prettiest gal there.
I mean, it might have been cool when Frank Sinatra was born.
Yeah, that's true.
But Hoboken really now is even more so because it's so expensive to live in the city. It's a pretty important piece of the pie.
So are they? Would it be regentrification?
Yes,
Hoboken?
absolutely.
Making it a la Brooklyn. They're kind of making it nicer and nicer.
And I believe the first night baseball game under electric lights was played in Hoboken, New Jersey.
How
there you
close
go.
is Hoboken to Carteret, where your family is
I think
from?
Carteret is further north. Carteret is only like 2 exits away from the city.
Yeah, Hoboken, you can take the tram right across.
Yeah, Mr. New York, way to go.
I used to bang a girl there.
And it was the mayor.
We mentioned it a couple of times. It'll be the Broncos and the Seahawks in what Jimmy Cerrito is calling the Stoner Bowl. The Broncos and Peyton Manning took care of Tom Brady and the Patriots in the AFC Championship, while the Seahawks edged out the Niners. Sorry for all of our Stockton, Modesto, Sacramento fans and San Francisco fans, because the Niners had a hard-fought battle. It was a defensive battle. We look forward to seeing all of you at the TMOS Super Bowl party at Jimmy's Old Town Tavern. And as I said, and I mean this, man, if that Super Bowl could be just about as good as that NFC Championship, I would be a very, very happy guy.
Can't wait.
Now, is it true what I heard is that with the 49ers loss that Joe Montana is retiring now? So close.
He's going to the Stoner Bowl.
Stoner Bowl!
President Obama is not a pothead, but he does favor states like Washington and Colorado moving forward with their legalization efforts. The president believes that the penalties for pot affect minorities in a disproportionate way. That's a fact. And although he would be telling his daughters that smoking pot is a bad idea and unhealthy, He is not against legalization efforts in those states. The president said he does not think marijuana is more dangerous than alcohol, but he also doesn't think legalizing pot is something that will solve a large number of social problems. Like my friend Chewy down the street, who believes that if we legalize pot, we're going to Mars within the week.
Now, we all know that Barack Obama has a past as a cigarette smoker. Do you think he's still occasionally having a cigarette?
Ooh, I don't know.
I've heard he does.
He does.
And you know what? You know, Rob, one of my little crap detector tells used to be I always used to identify the heavy smokers that would come on the Don and Mike show and then on the Mike O'Mara show. And I've heard Barack Obama, sometimes he has that little raspiness. It might be overused because he has to make all those speeches, but I think he's still grabbing a choke once in a while.
See, now I'm no great pot enthusiast. I keep a little on my fridge and a cereal bowl.
I mean cigarette, not pot. I don't think he's smoking ging.
But
although he is one cool customer.
Don't you think it would be great when he finally gets out of office is he just totally starts sparking up everywhere? You see him like hanging out in pot environments and smoking with like stars and stuff. I'd love to see that. Yeah, I'd love to see that.
I just want to say thanks for coming to my library. I'd like to take you out to the back shed and do a little doobie. I got a tie-dyed shirt on there that says Barack Obama. Thank you very much. And,
hanging out with Zach Galifianakis?
Well, no, Rob, not necessarily Zach Galifianakis, but I think by that time, when I have my presidential library, I'll be able to smoke a doob with a little foreign boy that's going to be all grown up.
Oh, I don't know. Does he smoke? What's his name again?
That little boy's name was little Jabril.
Hey, we heard from him. Do you know Jabril is 5'7" now?
Oh my
He's
God.
grown. Can't wait to see
Jabril.
him. Little Jabril, not so little anymore.
That's good. Has he gotten smarter?
He's very tall.
If you don't know by now, Dennis Rodman checked himself into rehab a few days ago. Rodman made news on his recent trip to North Korea when he ranted during a news conference with CNN. He didn't make a lot of sense. He later said he was all boozed up, and he blamed the hooch for his nonsensical comments. Rodman returned to the U.S. last week after a trip to North Korea where he played basketball and celebrated the birthday of new dear leader Kim Jong-un. It just makes me laugh every time I read that because I wrote it, but I'm still laughing at the fact that Dennis Rodman, went to North Korea to celebrate Kim Jong-un's birthday. It's just too damn funny.
I wonder if he brought like a gift card or an actual present. He said, look, there's $30 at Target.
Yeah, how does Amazon work over there?
Well, if you want to know what he brought him, why don't you ask him?
Oh, Dennis! Dennis?
Hello.
How you doing?
You can ask me a question?
Yeah, I wanted to first of all congratulate you on taking the brave step to getting into rehab.
Thank you.
You'll do good there, I'm sure. How was the birthday party?
It was a good birthday party. I brought him his favorite snack.
Really?
What is that?
He enjoys a cocktail snack in a bowl that's green.
The snack is green?
Yeah, it's green. It was kind of tan, but the inside of it is green.
It's a cocktail snack.
It's a cocktail snack. Yeah.
What is it? Can you be more specific?
It's simple, really.
Really, is it?
Yeah, it's a pistachio.
Loves nuts.
Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody.
Quite a campaign.
Justin Bieber is using drugs with alarming regularity.
No.
Yes. And it's making him so erratic, his people have been urging him to go to rehab.
Oh, no.
Maybe he can shack up with Dennis.
Sources close to him, connected with the singer, they have told that to the #1 seat of journalism in America, of course, TMZ.
Yes.
Multiple credible connected sources tell TMZ Bieber has been using, and Oscar, I'm going to have to go to you because you're the youth movement on the show. He's been using scissor.
Oh, it's isn't that cough medicine and
it says it's got it here. It's typically codeine and promethazine.
Oh boy,
mixed with Sprite and a Jolly Rancher.
Sipping on some scissor.
You know, that's really not much different than what Elvis used to do. It's just Elvis drank it out of a cocktail flute.
Well, it's actually, really, if you think it's codeine, promethazine, and Sprite and a Jolly Rancher, Rob calls that a Manhattan.
Yeah, I do. It's really quite tasty, and I'm so relaxed afterwards.
Bieber and his crew refer to it as lean. That's another name for it. It's a very dangerous narcotic that can trigger seizures and even worse. But that's not the only drug Beaver is using, according to TMZ. We're told he's been taking lots of prescription pills, including Xanax, in addition to lots of alcohol and the aforementioned weed, which seems to be nicely weaving its through the entire show today.
Wow.
Fantastic. Well, we wish
I'm
him all
not
the
shocked. I mean, but really, do you see an OD in his future? No.
best. No. And,
No,
but if he
right?
was doing a lot of pot, he'd be eating the eggs instead of throwing them.
Yeah, he's still lean.
In a not-surprising development, a woman in Italy has named her newborn son after the Pope. In a more surprising development, she happens to be a nun.
Oh.
That's right.
That's
yes.
complicated.
The 31-year-old in Reiti, it's R-E-I-T-I, I think it's Reiti or Reiti, went to the hospital complaining of stomach pains and reportedly rejected the doctor's crazy suggestion that she was about to have a baby. That's according to the Telegraph. I'm not sure where the Telegraph is, but I think it might be in London.
Yeah, I think
It's
it is
not-
the UK Telegraph, right?
She said, "It's not a possible. I'm a nun." The Italian press quotes her as saying, "They were right, she was wrong, and little Francis soon entered the world," according to the BBC. The unidentified woman worked in an old folks' home, but the assumption is that she got pregnant on a visit to her homeland of El Salvador.
Well, you know what they always say, Mike? It's okay to occasionally date a nun. Just don't get in the habit.
Bada bing! And now a little something, something. On January 10th, a Canadian man was driving just outside of Chicago, and he was talking on his cell phone. Well, it's illegal to talk on your cell phone without hands-free in that part of the U.S., and the long blue arm of the law reached out and pulled the man over. Well, they must have sensed something was amiss, because they searched the man's car after the stop, and what did they find?
What?
$1.2 million worth of cocaine.
Wow. No.
Yeah, baby.
That's
Yeah,
a lot of blow.
And he's Canadian, too. The Canadian is now facing up to 30 years in jail. And he was also cited for using the cell phone. The moral of this story, when a law changes in your state, no matter how small, don't blow it off. You got to toe the line. It's just another bump in the road. Hey, D&M. Candy? We'll take a break. Come back with the audio about Rob Spiewak right here on the Mike O'Meara Show.
Let's go down, river brought me down when I was heading out on the road.
I love this song.
Great one.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Meara Show. Hey, are you part of the procrastination? Well, never fear, folks. It's not too late to jump on the 2014 bonus show bandwagon. Order right now.
When?
Right now. And you'll get all of the 2014 shows, plus on-demand video access to each show and unlimited access to the entire anthology. That's every TMOS bonus show since we started at $69.99. You save over 25%. We also have monthly packages, and as always, you can still buy each episode a la carte. Check out all the details at MikeO'MearaShow.com. If you have any issues with the bonus shows, Pony can help you because that's what he does when he's not taking care of sugar gliders.
He's laughing.
Remember, order now and you won't miss a single second of the bonus fun. Is he the one?
Yes.
The 2014 TMOS bonus package, because 5 hours a week just ain't enough. Let's open up the audio vault for today. This is Monday, Jan 20, 2014.
I don't know what she can do to be more adorable, but I've got a thing for Jennifer Lawrence. And she is
I
just
like her
cute,
too.
and she is funny, and she seems so genuine. She was on the red carpet at the SAG Awards this weekend, and she was apologizing because her gown, though lovely, emphasized the fact she had a little bit of armpit fat. You know, sometimes they just spill out over the dress. I didn't find it all that horrendous, but I like the way she referred to her armpit fat, and I think this might be in the Urban Dictionary in the next 24 hours.
We got to talk about your dress. You look gorgeous. Who are you wearing, Jennifer?
Thanks. I know I have armpit fat. It's okay, though. I'm wearing
not have armpit.
No, it's okay. I do.
Who doesn't have armpit fat, first of all? Oh, great. Now you just made me look at my own.
It's armpit vaginas. It's awful.
Oh, great. No, armpit
I
vaginas.
myself and all these cameras. This is horrible. I need to get wear horse shaders so I don't have to see anything.
The blinder?
Yeah.
Tell me, who's this dress?
Oh, sorry, Dior. You asked me, and all I talked about was my armpit vagina.
Yeah, sorry, all I was talking about was my armpit vagina. And
And then she casually mentions, "Oh, yes, major designer Dior." I'm Jennifer Lawrence. Look, she's got it working. I don't care if it's contrived. I like her personality. I like the way she presents
I
herself.
hate her
It's great.
haircut.
You don't like her haircut?
Oh,
Let it grow
why
out?
do beautiful women like to look like dudes? Like why?
I think. See, I like I like the
short hair screams, "I give up."
No, I disagree.
Yes.
The woman on 24 that was married to Brody, that beautiful woman with her super pixie short haircut, I don't mind that.
Yeah,
if
but
it's a gorgeous woman, it doesn't matter.
I think a gorgeous woman it's a way of sort of showing off how gorgeous she is. She can
and
say,
I think
"I don't need the long hair."
So many of these women have the extensions anyway. So I mean, I don't.
That's what I'm saying. She should have had extensions put in, so she would have looked like she usually does. Hi.
I don't know.
You know what Oscar Santana always says? Plastic it up, girls. Plastic it up.
Yeah, I like them fake. I like them fake. Also at the Screen Actors Guild Awards, Matthew McConaughey won. And whether or not he was, here's the sort of a theme in today's show. Whether or not he was high is up to you. But this acceptance speech sort of sounds like Jerry Lewis after he's been on the air for 20 hours. Here's Matthew McConaughey.
I mean, I've been able to recently find some characters that I could humble myself to their humanities and then get feverishly drunk on their obsessions. And that's really been fun for me.
Doesn't it sound like he's about to say, no, listen, I got a way we can all be rich?
I do not know when I turned on to the Matthew McConaughey team. I like him now.
I do too. I always have liked him.
I have not always liked him. Back with the whatever that Jodie Foster movie was in, where she was
Accused.
No, it was going back.
Contact.
Contact.
Aha.
I hated him in that movie, and slowly but surely, just because of his choices, and he really is that way. He's that slick guy that will walk in and go, "Well, you going to buy me a shot?"
Yeah.
Come
all
on,
right.
you want to buy me a shot.
All right,
yeah,
all right.
I like him.
All right.
Here's more of Matthew McConaughey.
There's a magic spot. We all know it is. There's a magic place that we as actors can get, or we at least strive to get to. And we always don't get there. But boy, when we touch it, it's magic. When you're seeing the character from the inside out, when you're walking out every day, and everything you see, smell, and touch, and observe is coming through that character into you, and it's making sense, and you're the subject, you're the eye, you're first person seeing it through that character's eyes.
I feel like he's about to say, and the audience is sparkling. Because he sounds like
I believe in what he's saying because
I do.
Look at his first Dallas Buyers Club, the movie that he won for, right?
Right.
Have you seen it yet?
I have not seen it though. When you see the way he looks in the movie, the association between him and that character, he almost doesn't look like Matthew McConaughey.
He looks like he really gave in.
You know what you've got basically is your presentational acting style and your representational acting style. I learned that from my daughter. My daughter's a theater major, and she actually taught me that.
Can you nutshell that?
Sweet.
I will not nutshell it for you because I asked her about it last night. She was going over. Presentational is you're presenting yourself, a la Will Ferrell.
Okay.
Every Will Ferrell movie is Will Ferrell.
Okay.
You never get anything but Will Ferrell. Representational is when you're actually immersing yourself in the character, like a Matthew McConaughey will do. Some might say he's not. Some might argue about that.
Yeah.
But it's somebody who absolutely dives into the character.
Like in The Machinist.
Yeah, you see a guy where he is so in the character that you're not looking at the actor. That's kind of what you explain. How about that? That education, that money's well spent. Huh?
Loved it. Tell her to bail out now. You got plenty in the first 2 semesters.
That's all you need. You got that in 4 years, you're fine.
I thought it was ironic that also at the SAG Awards was Sofia Vergara, and she was chosen to accept for Modern Family, and she was trying to find words, and Julie Bowen was on stage with her, and Julie Bowen did the thing where you whisper in someone's ear and they repeat it before they know what they're saying. And I think you'll enjoy this moment.
But we have to thank, of course, our amazing creators, to our whole crew that make us look so pretty, to my boobs.
She said my boobs.
So Julie Bowen put that in her ear?
She did. She whispered it and it came right out of her mouth. I thought it was great.
To my boobs.
Did you hear Ann Wilson sing the national anthem last night?
I missed that. I did not see that yesterday.
I will play for you the final note, and I'm back and forth as to whether or not I like this final note. Right now, I'm saying I do.
Where's she from? I didn't know where she's from.
She's from Seattle.
I know.
She's from Heart.
I saw the national. I saw her sing it, but I didn't know what band she was from.
Heart.
Okay,
She's half of Heart. And here's the last note, Mike.
Oh, the land of the free.
What do you think?
Meh.
Meh? Too much?
Nah, I would have liked to see it. I didn't see it. I'm a huge Hart fan. I went to see Hart in Vegas.
Right.
I love Hart, and I don't know. She still got it. I think she's terrific. That she's
Sounded great.
Yeah, I like her. And we close with a Saturday Night Live Drake getting high marks as a host on Saturday Night Live. But here are two of my favorite jokes from Weekend Update.
A man in Mexico was arrested for drunk driving after police pulled him over, and the man's pet parrot repeatedly said he's drunk. Mexico, where they take the parrot's word for it.
A woman in Ohio who had lost her dog got him back after she posted flyers offering a case of beer and a pack of cigarettes as a reward. And that was all the incentive needed in the little town of Dirtbag, Ohio.
That's your Magic Audio Vault. Have a great Monday, everybody.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks, guys. For all technical support issues with the Mike O'Mara Show, you can contact our Sugar Glider Wrangler himself, Matt Blum. Just drop him a line at ponyboy@MikeO'MaraShow.com. Oh, Matthew, be aware, next week, I believe we've given you plenty of time to prepare your little darlings
they'll be
for an
here.
in-studio visit.
They're here.
Since
They're
I'm going to
ready.
be back in Virginia, I would certainly like to see them. All correspondence for the show should be sent to TMOS, P.O. Box 3, Manassas, Virginia, 20108. And remember, our official eVoice hotline is open right now at 1-800-440-8167. That number again is 800-440-8167. We'll be back with a brand new one tomorrow from Mr. Rob Spiewak and Oscar Santana. This is Mike O'Mara saying, see you next time, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Wait, don't go. I need to tell you that MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon is perfect for all your online shopping needs. Shop the best way. Shop Amazon. And please go through our website, always open at MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon. Mike O'Mara.